Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be having a look at the new Kill Team Salvation rules and just getting up to date with what's going to be happening in this new season. The Warhammer community site is putting out articles now this week about the game, and I thought it would be cool to have a look. I've slated the terrain a fair bit in previous videos, so I'm pretty interested to see whether they've sacrificed the aesthetics for gameplay. So in this video we'll find out. We'll have a look at hazardous areas, the restricted line of sight, and a little bit about what's going to happen with campaign play as well. If you followed along from the previous season, you'll know that the Gallowdark crashed into the planet Bheta Decima. Bheta Decima is a doomed colony, and now kill teams are infiltrating its burning cities, drifting Hulk fragments, and massive oceanic forge complexes. Kill teams are now going to be fighting over key information, looking for technological treasures, and taking the missions across these treacherous platforms. The new season kicks off with this new Salvation box set, which gives you the book, the rules, the cards, some scattered terrain, and the two kill teams. But the Bheta Decima kill zone is a separate box set, and here you can see all the components that come with it alongside that double-sided board. From all the terrain sets we've seen, I think this is going to probably be the easiest one to replicate with terrain we already have, and even making your own terrain is going to be really easy for this particular setup. So if you like the sound of the rules as we go through everything in this video, and more probably as the week progresses, I think you're going to easily be able to replicate without even having to buy the terrain set. Personally, I don't know if I'm willing to go to that much effort, and I wouldn't buy it, especially with kill teams and the terrain being put into two box sets now, and this terrain set being £80. That's a little bit too much for me. Some people are happy with it though, and they like having the options of just buying the kill teams or the terrain, so that's cool. And I'm still interested in the rules and how it's going to play out, and I'm interested to see the direction that kill team's going to be going in for the new season. So let's dive in and start working our way through the article, and let's begin with the hazardous areas. If you've seen the board before, you'll recognise this large section in the middle, and this is the hazardous area. Now this is going to be in the centre of the double-sided game board. Now this area is treacherous terrain for everyone, and no one is allowed to set foot in that area. We're also told that nobody can be pushed into it either, which is a shame because that would have been really fun, but you can't do that. We've got to just treat that area as being off limits. Here it tells us that these hazardous areas restrict movement, and the idea is that there's strong currents and toxic water, and that's going to prevent operatives from entering into the ocean and avoiding those lurking predators below. As well as restricted movement, the areas are also going to restrict line of sight. Here we've got to imagine there's big waves, sea mist and smog, and that's going to make it hard for the operatives to see targets across that area. Let's focus on this restricted line of sight then, and we'll zoom in on this section here. So it tells us that when determining line of sight from an active operative on the kill zone floor to a target operative on the kill zone floor, the target operative is obscured if a cover line drawn to it crosses horizontally over too white of a hazardous area. You've got to love the kill team line of sight obscuring rules, but I think this is pretty straightforward. So too white is if it's over that distance between the operative and the target, you're not going to be able to shoot them. They're going to be classed as obscured. But that's just if you're both on the kill zone floor. What if you've got some vantage points going on? And that's exactly what this set is designed to create. And it tells us in the second part of the rules that when determining line of sight from an active operative on a vantage point to a target operative on the kill zone floor, or vice versa, so you can also shoot up, that's good, the target operative is obscured if a cover line drawn to it crosses into and out of the footprint of a gantry. However, you're going to ignore the footprint of gantries that the active operative or the target operative are on. So while they don't say it specifically, that does suggest that you can shoot across the hazardous area an unlimited amount of distance, as long as the weapon allows it, if either the active operative or the target operative are on a vantage point. And this example's actually pretty good. It's going to kind of go along with that text and make it hopefully digestible. But you can see here you've got the Space Marine Scout on the left, and he's going to be shooting the target on the right. So we're not going to class the piece of terrain that the Space Marine is on, because it says there that it ignores the footprint of gantries that the active operative or the target operative are on. But we are going to take into account that other gantry because the line does go through the footprint. And so that target on the right is going to be obscured. But now let's imagine that the model on the right is shooting the target now on the left. If the model on the right, the active operative, is within black of that obscuring piece of terrain, can they shoot through it or not because of the width of it? So these are the questions I think that are going to come up. But I think because the width of that terrain is going to be quite wide, I think that that is going to actually obscure the shot anyway. But we wouldn't class the target, the Space Marine in this case, we wouldn't class the gantry that he's on, because we ignore the footprint of gantries that either the active operative or the target operative are on. Does that make sense? What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments and any questions you think are going to come up, because we've also got a built-in cover. Maybe there's some cover on the gantry, so even if they could shoot them, there might be a little piece of terrain there. How does that affect things? So we've got lots of things that are going to come up, I think, with this, but I'm sure we'll find out more as the week unfolds. Okay, now let's have a look at a little bit of the campaign play. So this is going to be the first stage now of this whole new season. And the idea is you can string together all the releases into a new campaign system that tasks your operative with Bheta Decima infiltration. This series of linked games is going to be designed to run alongside a regular Spec Ops narrative campaign with kill team seizing territory on the map that you can see here. So as they move across the map to claim intelligent, they're also going to have to contend with the random hazards that flare up across the world. To flesh out this campaign, Salvation is going to give 9 new critical operations, and they're going to take advantage of the Bheta Decima terrain rules. So here we go. You can see this first one we're getting a little glimpse at is called Loot the Rig, and this is going to be mission 1.1 of the Salvation book. And it says that much of the myriad machinery that make up the rig apparatus can be salvaged from the structure by a kill team who can repurpose the materials for their own ends or trade them for much needed supplies. So it'd be interesting to see how they're going to do that in the aftermath sequence. So after each mission, are you going to sell things? Are you going to get credits and then be able to spend them on different things? We'll have to wait and see on that one. But that's pretty much it. That's the first article we've got now this week. And there's going to be a lot more, I think, as we get closer to the release date. The 2 sets are going to be up for pre-order on the 23rd of December, but you're not going to be able to get hold of those, and they're not going to be released until the 13th of January. So a little while to wait there, and if you're looking at getting hold of the rules, they're going to come with these 2 sets of models. You're going to get the 2 kill teams, you're going to get the scattered terrain, you're also getting data cards, which is really cool, a nice addition to kill team. But here's one of the major issues that I see as them releasing this in 2 separate box sets. The Salvation box set with the 2 kill teams and the cards is going to give you the book with the rules and everything you need to play on the terrain, but the terrain is going to come in a separate box set. So if you want the terrain and you want to play those missions with the kill teams you already have, you won't have the book, which is going to be a big shame. But I think what's going to happen is people are going to buy the Salvation box set to get hold of those Space Marine scouts, and then eBay is probably going to be flooded with that kill team Salvation book. That could actually work out okay. If you made your own terrain or had some you could already use, maybe you've got a Necromunda set of terrain which is going to do the job, and it wouldn't be hard to replicate the board. You could just buy the book, use your existing kill teams, and save quite a bit of money here. I think if I was going to pursue this season, that's probably what I would do, but I'm not even sure if there's going to be enough sets available. That's something I just don't trust them anymore with what they did last season. So until really it comes to pre-order and we can see how many copies are going to be available, I think really just going to have to wait and see. There you go, there's the rules though. So the first little bit of information we've got about this new terrain setup, and I'll bring you more videos as the weeks unfold. You know, it's a big shame because I was really into Kill Team on and off. I must admit, it's been a weird kind of time with the shapes and getting over those and then getting into the game a lot and starting to cover it more on the channel and then share all the information about the new box sets coming out, and then to find out that most of those were shorted and people were having trouble getting hold of them. It's really disappointing when you're getting excited about a game, getting involved and joining in with that hype train, and then no one can get hold of the bloody stuff. It's really annoying, and it makes it really difficult to be positive about this, but at least we've got a little sneak peek of the rules there. And also, if you want to find out about some more Kill Team news, it was actually featured in White Dwarf issue 495 this month, where we got a 2-page set of Kill Team jungle rules and some cards, so we can add some twists to our game, and I've covered that in the White Dwarf video, and I also did a short video that just gave a very quick overview of just the Kill Team rules. If you're only interested in Kill Team and not White Dwarf, then you might want to check out that video too. Thanks so much for watching. Hope it was helpful. If you did like it, it'd be great if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.